right angle triangle. So you are given, suppose you are given this triangle here. This is my triangle here. And this is 90 degree. 90 degree means right angle triangle. That means one of my angles is 90 degree. Okay. And you are given here, I name this as, you know, you can say, yeah, A, as you can say, B, and this is C. We're calling these names, these vertices as A, B, and C. Okay. Usually the notation we use is the side opposite this angle C is small c, opposite this B is small b, opposite this A is small a. So the opposite to this one is this side, so this becomes small a, opposite to this one is small b, and this is small c. There is a special name for the longest side. The longest side and the side opposite to this 90 degree. There's a special name for that, which is hypotenuse. There is hypotenuse. And there is also a special property known as Pythagoras theorem, which says the longest side square, the longest one is c square, will be equal to the sum of the other two squares. The square of other two sides is the sum of the square of other two sides. Now, if we have to talk in the form of trigonometry, if we need to find, looking at this, what is sine, I say some angle theta here. I call this as theta here. Suppose some angle theta is there. This is my theta here. I say find sine theta, cosine theta. You need to find cosecant theta, secant theta, tangent theta, and cotangent theta. These are the 6 values you have to find looking at this angle. Note theta is here. Theta is here. In case of sine theta, how do you find sine theta? Sine theta will be actually, okay, it will always be divided by hypotenuse. Okay, and it is perpendicular over hypotenuse. Perpendicular means the side opposite to theta. So it will be B over C. So it is basically, you can say, opposite. So if we are talking about theta, the opposite over hypotenuse. And cosecant is just the opposite of it. So it will become hypotenuse over opposite one, opposite to theta. Cosine will be adjacent. That means the side next to theta. Side next to theta. So adjacent over hypotenuse. In this case, the adjacent one is A. So it becomes A over C. And this is just the opposite one. So it becomes hypotenuse over adjacent. So it becomes C over A. Tangent. For tangent, the formula is opposite over adjacent. Opposite sides is B and this thing is A. So this one is opposite to that thing. This is adjacent to theta. And it's just the inverse, adjacent over opposite. So it becomes A over B. So this is how you look at a triangle and figure out all the trigonometric functions. So let's see here. Exact question you'll get is, so you are given this triangle here. You are given, this is your 90 degree, this is your theta. You are given 5 and 3. Okay. You need to find, the question says find all trigonometric functions with angle theta. So the question says find all trigonometric functions with angle theta. This is your question. Okay. 10, 20. Eduardo? Is Eduardo here? Karen?
Yes.
Okay. Karen, I am given this side, this side. How can I find this side here?
With the formula, and
So what's the formula?
is b squared equals a squared minus c squared.
Yeah, a square plus b square, right? What is your c?
C is 5.
So it becomes 5 square, the longest side. What's your a?
A is 3.
So 3 square plus b square. So when you do it, you get 25 is equal to 9 plus b square. When you subtract 9, you get 16 is equal to b square. Then you take square root on both sides. Whenever you take square root on both sides, you put a plus minus sign. But in this case, you will not put a minus sign. The reason is the length of a side cannot be negative. It's always positive. So I'm just going to consider the positive one. So b is equal to
4.
4.
4.
So this becomes 4.
4.
Now I found all my sides. Now it's very easy for me to find what's sine theta. Opposite over hypotenuse. What's opposite to this one?
Sine is 4
over
5.
5. And cosecant is basically just, I flip it, it becomes 5 over
4.
What about cosine?
Sine is 3 over 5.
Okay. So what is secant?
Secant is 5 over 3.
Perfect. What about tangent?
Tangent is 4 over 3.
Yes. So cotangent is
3 over 4.
perfect. You got it. Really good, Karen. Any questions, anyone with this problem here? Okay. Let's see here. Next question you're gonna get is, this is 1, this is 2. So the question says you're given a triangle here. Okay. You're given this as, they're writing it as A, and this they're writing it as B, and this is a side C, and this is given to be 3, this is given to be 2. It says find C, A and B. So you need to find C, angle A and angle B. What's the value of A and what's the value of B? Shaira?
I'm not really sure. Can we go through this one?
See, yeah, let's see. I know the value of this side. I know the value of this side, right? I don't know the value of this side. Is there any relation between the side lengths?
Oh, yes.
Which is?
C squared plus 3 squared equals C squared.
Yeah, c square is equal to, so the longest one is equal to the other two squares. Okay, so it becomes c square is equal to 9 plus 4, which is c square is equal to 13. So when you take square root on both sides, you will just take the positive one. The reason is side cannot be negative. And square root of 13. Use your calculator and can you tell me what is square root of 13?
.6.
Yeah, 3.6. Let's take 3.6. Again say 3.61. Let's take up to 2 decimal places. You got this thing. Okay. You got this thing. Let's talk about, okay, you knew these two, right? Can you tell me any trigonometric function in which you are using just these two sides? Use any trigonometric functions you are using only these two sides.
Sorry, what do you mean?
So remember we did sine, cosine, tangent, cotangent and all, right?
Yes.
Is there any trigonometric function out of these where you use side this and side this?
Tangent.
Tangent. So you are saying tangent what? Tangent A or B?
B? Oh,
Okay, let's take tangent B, yeah? No problem. Let's take tangent B, okay? Let's take tangent B. Tangent B will be equal to what? The opposite one, the opposite to B is what?
2.
2 over what's the adjacent one?
3.
3, right? Okay. Now if I have to find the value of B, I need to find the value of B also. Note I found the value of C. I can find using this formula the value of B. How do you find is, take this tangent on the other side. It becomes B is equal to tangent inverse 2 over 3. And you're like, how I'm supposed to find this tangent inverse 2 over 3? Note in your calculators. Everyone, make sure you have your calculators right now because you need to know how to use these. How do you do it is, press the second and over the tangent there is tangent inverse. Just over the tangent there is tangent inverse. So when you press second, after that you press the tangent one. And in bracket you write 2 divided by 3. And press enter. So you will get, yeah, 0.588. You got this thing.
I've got a question.
Yeah.
Are we trying to find the degrees of the angle?
Yes, we are finding degrees. So make sure it's in degrees, okay, not in radians. So my question was in radians, so you have to change. Go in mode, you have to change to degrees, not radians.
Yeah, that was my question.
Yeah.
Because I got something completely different.
Yeah, it's complete. You will get in degrees. The answers, so make sure it is in degrees here. So if you go to mode and your calculator is not in degrees, you will get your answer wrong. We are finding the answer in degrees, not in radians. So you have to convert in degrees. So what I got is wrong too. So when you convert here, you have to find in degrees. So you find second, you again find tangent inverse, it will be 2 divided by 3. And that's your answer. That's in degrees. So the answer will be 33.69, yeah, degrees. Note, my angles will be in degrees. These are the angles inside. These are the angles. These are known as angles. And these are known as sides. My angles will be always in degrees in case of triangles. Okay. Now, there is one more thing is about, if you want, you have to find the A also. You can find tangent A also this way. Tangent A will be basically equal to, Shaira, what will be equal to if I have to find tangent A? What's the opposite of A?
3.
3 over, and what's adjacent?
Mm,
What's adjacent to A?
3.61.
3 over? 3 over what?
Oh, 3 point.
See here.
Wait.
How do you find tangent A? It is opposite over adjacent. Opposite is 3. What's
Opposite.
adjacent to A?
Adjacent is
2. See this side.
right. Sorry. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh my.
So it becomes A is equal to tangent inverse. Now I take tangent on the other side. It becomes 3 over 2. You can again use the calculator and find the value. So it becomes second tangent inverse. Now you have 3 divided by 2. You get 56.31 degrees. The other thing you can do is, if you want to do, this is also good what you did, but there is one more property here. Sum of all angles of a triangle is always equal to 180 degrees. So if I wanted to do this problem here, I would have done it the same way also. I knew, okay, it would be A, B plus C is equal to 180 degree. If I don't want to do this step, you could have used this step to do it. Okay. A, we don't know, we were finding A. B, we just found as 33.69. C, we know is 90 degrees. You could have used this formula and found your angle A. So A, it becomes 0.69 is equal to 180 degrees. So basically your A is 180 degrees minus 123.69 degrees, which will come out to be 56.31. This is another way of doing it. It's up to you which way you want to do. Both are correct. Do this problem now. You are given, okay, so this is your triangle. Okay, you are given this as 5, B as 3, this is C, this is A, this is B. Okay, it says find C, A, B. You have to find all these. Do right now this question. We did the same way. It's the same question we did right now. It's just different values. Is Samantha here? Samantha? Angel?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you help me with this one?
Yeah. 1 second. Are we trying to find for C? Is that a little c?
Yeah, I need to find a little c, A, and B.
Is little c the... Oh, it's the hypotenuse.
Yeah.
We can use c squared plus b squared equals a squared plus b squared.
Mm-hmm. What's your A and B?
The A is 5 and B is 3.
Okay.
It's just giving me root 34.
which is equal to what?
Hang on. Yeah, it's just giving me root 34.
What's the oh, convert into
It's not
decimals.
giving me the decimal answer. It's just giving me root 34 exact.
You have to change your mode to decimal. So if you get 5.83. But make sure you convert your that into decimal, okay?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, and then how do you find angle A and B?
Hang on. How we find A and B? Do we use sine?
Yes.
Can we use it?
You can use
We
sine.
can-
The thing, yeah, you can use sine.
Use any of them, right?
Yeah, you can use sine because since you know your C now, you can use your sine.
Okay. So sine theta equals.
Theta.
what
There
was
is
it?
no theta. No,
Oh, no theta. Okay.
There is no theta. There is A or B. Which one you want to consider?
Oh, if we're doing sine, then we might as well use.
Do anything. Pick up any.
We do A.
Okay, you want to do A. So the formula for sine is opposite over hypotenuse. What's opposite of A?
5 and then.
Hypotenuse was square root of 34, right?
Oh, it's okay.
Opposite over hypotenuse. That's the formula for sine. So how do I find A is equal to what?
That divided by that.
No. A is, you have to take this sign on the other
Oh,
side.
the inverse. Yeah, we got to take the inverse sign.
Yeah, sine inverse 5 over root 34. Use calculator and tell me what do you get.
Yeah, I got like 0.
You got 0 point, it should be 59.03.
Okay, maybe then I have it in the wrong.
The thing is, see here, did you do it like this? Did you write
Yeah,
like
yeah,
this?
I entered it in like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait. I forgot to put inverse.
Oh yeah, the inverse you have to put yes. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you put a degree sign on the top. So that means your A is 59.04 degrees. How do you find your B?
B. We do cosine B equals B adjacent over hypotenuse.
Yeah, what's adjacent to B?
Adjacent to B is 5, right?
Yeah, 5 over.
5 over root 34.
Yeah, 5 root 34. So my B will be equal to what?
Inverse.
Yeah, cosine.
Or B equals inverse cosine.
Yeah, 5 over root 34. Now do the inverse and you tell me. Give me the correct answer.
Oh, it's the same thing, right?
No, it's not the same. Sine and cosine are different functions.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
What did you get?
Oh, 30.96 degrees.
Perfect. So this was about section 8.1. So you'll be given some values. You have to complete the circle and find the other values. And if you should know what is your sine, what is your cosine, tangent, cotangent, and all those things. Looking at the right angle triangle, you should be able to figure out all other values. Note, we were talking about right angle triangles in section 8.1. In the next one we are going to section 8.2. In this, we are not talking about just right angle triangles. We are talking about any triangle. Suppose I'm given this triangle here. Any triangle. It could be any kind of triangle. Okay. You're given this thing. Suppose you're given this as your... Let me see how they're using it. Okay, they're calling this as A, they're calling this as B, and this as C. Note, opposite side to A will be small a, opposite to will be small b, opposite to this will be small c. Then there is a theorem which says, this is known as law of sines. It says sine of A divided by A, the sine of this angle divided by the opposite side, is equal to sine of B divided by the opposite one, and then sine of C divided by the opposite side. They all three are equal to each other. So sine of A divided by this side is equal to sine of B divided by this side, and sine of C divided by the opposite side. This is known as the law of sine. And we already know, I already told you, the sum of all angles is equal to 180 degree. No matter what my triangle is, it is right angle triangle or not a right angle triangle, the sum will always be equal to 180 degrees. Okay. Now question you get on this thing is, suppose it says solve the triangle. So you're given a triangle, okay. A is given to be 40 degrees, B is given to be 60 degrees, and then you're given A is equal to 4. So if I say, suppose this is my triangle, I say this is my triangle here. This is my A, I call this is my B, and this is my C. This thing is given to be, so here I can write 40 degrees. Okay, this thing is given to be 60 degrees. Opposite to A is small a, which is given to be 4. Okay. They want you to find all other values. So basically they want you to find this B, they want you to find this C. Yeah. And they also want you to find this angle here. Okay. Anyone can tell me how to start?
Yeah.
First thing we can do is solve for 180 because you're already given two angles.
Yes, that's true. He is absolutely correct. So you are given A plus B plus C is equal to 180 degrees. We know this already. So in this, yeah, what's your A, Eduardo?
I mean, the A is going to be 40, B is going to be 60, and the C, we can just subtract out by combining both A and B, and 100, which equals into 80.
Yes, you get 80 degrees. So yeah, this you got as your 80 degrees. Okay. Anyone else can tell me okay, Eduardo is here. Okay. Anyone else can tell me how to find the value of B and C? Any idea? No?
Would you use the sine theta one? That's B under, that's like, it says B over C.
The thing is, we can use that formula. That formula we can only use when it's a right angle triangle. Here nothing is 90 degree, right? So I cannot use that formula.
So we use that law of sines one.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. You're correct. So since I'm given sine A and I'm given this A side also, right? I'm given this side also, the opposite to A. So I'm definitely going to consider this one. I'll consider one by one. First I will put it equal to just sine B over B. Let me just do like this. Note in this case, I know what is this angle, I know what is this side, I know what is my B, but this I don't know. So I'll keep this on one side, I'll take everything else on the other side. How I do is, first I multiply B on both sides. So this B and this B cancels, you get B times sine A over A is equal to sine B. Okay. Now note, I just need B here. This A is dividing, so I multiply A both sides. This A and this A gets cancelled. You are left with B sine A is equal to A times sine B. Now I don't need sine A, I divide sine A both sides. You get basically B is equal to A sine B over sine A. Anyone has any questions how I got here till here? I'm just using this formula here. And then I'm taking B on one side, everything else on the other side. Once you got this, plug in the values. Your A was 4.
So wait, we're multiplying A on both sides?
Yeah, because A was dividing here, right?
Yeah.
I want to take it I want to take A on the other side, so I multiply.
And then you divide by sine A.
Yes.
You moved it. So we're just isolating B?
Yes, we are trying to isolate B because we
Okay.
need to find B. Okay, so you get 4 times sine B was what? 60 divided by sine A was 40. So you get B is equal to, let's use our calculators. Let's use our calculators. Take out your calculators, put in the calculator and find the value. Here. So it becomes 4 times, and make sure you put in a bracket now. So second you can press sine, then 60, close the bracket. Oh sorry, it's not sine inverse, sorry. So it should be, I'm sorry, so it should be 4 times, open the bracket, just press sine, you don't have to press second, sine 60, close the bracket, divided by, again press sine 40, close the bracket and close the bracket again and press enter. You will get your answer as 5.39. So you got your B as 5.39. Make sure you know how to use your calculator, everyone. This topic is very easy. Chapter 8 is very easy. It's just how you should know how to use calculator. Note you found your B as 5.39. Can anyone tell me how to find my C? Anybody with C?
Would you use the law of sines again?
Yes, you can use a law of sine. What will it be? Can you tell me on Monday?
Say again.
Well, what will I use to find C?
Oh. To find C.
I need to find the small c here.
Small c. Would you use the Pythagorean theorem or?
No, we'll use this only. You are correct. Law of sine only we'll use. But this time we will
80.
This time we'll just use this thing. That's it. We will not write the B term. These terms we know, A and this A we already know, and C we already know, so we can find this small c.
Okay.
You can consider 2 at a time. First I consider these 2 to find the value of B. Then I consider these 2 to find the value of C, because these 2 were already given to me. Now I want to find the value of C, so I isolate C. How do I isolate C? Is I multiply C on both sides. It becomes C sine A over A is equal to, this C gets cancelled, you're left with sine C. Now I just need C. This A is dividing, so I multiply A both sides. It becomes C times sine A is equal to A sine C. Now I just need C, so I divide by sine A. You get C is equal to A sine C over sine A. Now plug in the values. Your A was 4. Okay. Sine C. Sine C was 80 degrees over sine A was 40 degrees. Use a calculator and find the value. So turn your on. Okay, we have 4 multiply by, open the bracket, then you have sine 80 close divided by sine 40 close. You get 6.12. You 6.13. That's the value of your C. You found all the values.
Okay, so you are multiplying C from both sides. Take that out. Then you multiply A from both sides.
Yes.
And then you divide sine A from both sides.
Yes.
Okay. Understood.
Once you're done this, I want everyone to try this problem. So you are given again this, you can say this triangle. You call A, B, C. Okay. A is given to be 35 degrees. B is given to be 15 degrees. And the C is given to be 5. You need to find the small b, small a. Do this right now. It's the same problem. Try it yourself. Samantha is not here, right? Samantha? Christopher?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, Christopher. Okay. Help me with this, yeah.
So what I would do first is I would find angle C, because that's the only one that has a side. So I would basically subtract both angles from 180.
Okay, so you have, actually the formula is A plus B plus C is equal to 180 degrees. So you're saying you're going to put 35 degree plus 15 degrees plus C is equal to 180 degrees. You get
130.
130. You subtract 50, you got C as 130 degrees. You're saying you found this as 130 degrees. Okay, what's the next step?
So then we use law of sines. So it's sine 130 over 5. And then we either find B or A.
Okay.
So we'll just do B.
Okay.
So it's sine 15 over B.
Okay.
And then multiply the right side by B to get rid of the denominator.
Okay, so it becomes B sine 130 over 5 is equal to sine 15.
And then multiply both sides by 5.
Okay, so you get B is equal to 5 sine 15. Okay, B and it is sine 130 also here. And then
Divide by sine 130 on the left side, the right side.
okay, so you get B is equal to 5 times sine 15 degrees over sine 130 degrees. Can you use calculator and tell me what value you got?
I got 1.69.
1.69. You're saying so you got B as 1.69. Let me check.
And then to find A, we'll just do the same thing, except we have sine 35 over A.
So let's you're not gonna again consider 130 over 5 is equal to sine, you're saying 35 over A. When you will solve, you'll get A is basically equal to 5 sine 35 over sine 130. Use calculator and tell me what value you got.
You would get 3.74.
Perfect. So you got 3.74. You found your A, you found your B, and you found your C. Good, Christopher. Any questions, anyone? Okay. Next thing we are going to is, next thing here we have is law of cosine. So now before we did law of sine, now we have law of cosine. Now again you will be given, note I'm not talking about right angle triangle. I'm not talking about right angle triangle. Okay, for sines and laws of sine and cosine, we are not using right angle triangle. Okay, so you're given again A, B, C. I call this as B, this is as A, and this, oh sorry, this is A and this is B, side opposite to each other. You're given this thing. The law of cosine says if C square, so C square will be equal to opposite side squares minus 2AB, but cosine of that angle C. Similarly, if I have to find A square will be the other sides, B square plus C square minus 2AC, sorry, BC, opposite sides, but cosine will be of the opposite angle A. If you're finding A, the cosine will be of A. If you're finding C, it will be cosine of C. If you're finding B, it will be A square plus C square, the opposite ones, and minus 2AC cosine of B. These are the formulas for cosine. Law of cosine. So example you're gonna get on this is, it says solve the triangle. You're given A as 2, you're given B as 3, you're given C as 60 degrees. So now if you see here, let's see here, you're given this triangle A, B, C. This is your A, this is your B, and this is your C. You're given this as 2, you're given this as 3, and then you're given this as 60. You have to find all other values for this triangle. Note, they don't say you have to use which formulas you have to use. They just want you to find the value of A, C, and B. But in this case, I cannot use any property. I cannot use the property of all three sum is 180 because I just know one of them. I cannot use sine property because for sine, I need to know at least one angle and opposite of that angle. I only know this angle and I don't know the C. So that means I cannot use my sine. I need to look for something else. And this is not a right angle triangle, so I can use Pythagoras theorem. No, it is not a right angle triangle either. So what you have to do is, next option is law of cosine. Okay, which one will I use out of law of cosine? Which one uses this angle
What?
C?
C squared?
Yeah,
Wait.
it's C square, the first one. See,
Oh.
this angle C is used by only this one. So I'm going to use this formula here. So you get C square is equal to A square plus B square minus 2AB cosine C. So it becomes what? C square is equal to A was given to be 2. So it becomes 2 square plus C square minus 2 times 3 cosine of 60. Which is 4 plus 9 minus 12 cosine 60. You get 13 minus 12 cosine 60. degrees. And you can use your calculator and find the value. Turn it on. It's like, okay, you have 13 minus 12 times cosine 60. Close the bracket. Get 7. So your c square is comes out to be 7. But I just need c. So I take square root on both sides. I will not put a negative sign because my length cannot be negative. So my c is just square root of 7. And what is square root of 7? Second, then you press over square root, then 7. Enter. 2.64. So you can say 2.65. That's your c. Any questions, anyone?
What do you do with the cosine 60 degrees?
I put
Nothing.
I put it in the calculator directly, this whole thing, and it gave me an answer.
Oh,
I put this whole thing.
oh, so you put 13 minus 12 cosine 60 degrees.
Yes. Yeah, see here.
Okay. And it made 2.65.
Yeah, it made it 7. I got 7. Then I wrote c. This was c square is equal to 7. Then I took square root on both sides.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. I got my c now. But now I need to find the value of angle this b and the angle this a. Now there is various ways to do this. It's okay, which way you want to do, it's up to you. Okay, either you can again use the law of cosine, or you can go to law of sine now. You can go to law of sine also. It's up to you which way you want to do it. It's up to you to decide. Okay, if suppose we use law of cosines.
By any chance, are we able to convert it, like have it be sine b equals b times sine c over c?
You're saying, what you're saying, sine what?
B?
B.
Like, I want to know if we can isolate sine b
From where?
from the triangle, like using law of sines.
Oh, you're saying law of sine. So you're using sine b over b is equal to what? Cosine c over c?
Yeah, sine c over c, and
Yeah.
then we just multiply b on both sides.
Yes. So it becomes sine, you get b is equal to cosine c over c times b, correct? And so we need to find b here, right? So first I would suggest you, before even solving for b, I would ask you to find the value of this whole thing. So it becomes cosine, and c was 60 degrees over c you found as root 7 times b was 3. Find the value of this thing first.
Why do we use cosine right there, though?
Oh, sorry. No, it should be sine. I'm sorry. It should be sine. Yes. In my mind, I was using them. It's sine. It's sine. Correct. This is sine. So when you use in the calculator, let's see, you have sine 60 close bracket times 3, and then enter whatever answer you get divided by square root of 7. You got this thing. And note, I need to find sine b. You got as 0.981980506 something. But I need to find b. How do you find b? Is take sine inverse of this thing. So basically press this, second, this, and then press your second answer. You got 79.1. 79.2 degrees. So you found your b as 79.2 degrees. So one. Anyone who did not understand how I got this thing here? 79.11. First I solved this whole thing. Whatever answer I got, I found the inverse of that thing. So I took sine inverse on both sides. Now you know your a, Remember the formula A plus B plus C is equal to 180 degrees. You found your A I don't know. B I found as 79.11 and C I found was 60 degrees is equal to 180 degrees. And then solve. You get A plus equal to 180 degrees. So when you solve, you'll get A as 180 degree minus 85.11, which comes out to be.
I got a question.
Yeah.
So we're going to be doing all sorts of problems that like have like different mixtures where there could be a chance that we might have like a problem similar to this, but instead it's all sides, right?
Yes, yes.
We need to find all degrees.
Yeah, exactly, yes. So it depends. You will be given some of them, you will be not given some of them, you have to find other. Basically what we are trying to do is using law of cosines, law of sines, or Pythagoras theorem. So far I have taught you these three things. To use these three things and find other values.
I had another thing.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were to use the law of cosine approach, would you just have to isolate cosine C? Say we were looking for cosine from the law.
Yeah. From the law of cosine, yes.
Yeah, would you just have to like basically isolate cosine C in order to find?
Yes, exactly, yes. It depends what you are trying to find. The thing is, what are you trying to find in this? You are asking about this specific question or in general?
No, I was just asking in general. If you were going to use the cosine, would you just have to isolate for the C?
Yes. If you're finding the angle, yes. You want me to do more problems on this? Okay. Let's do more problems on this. Let's see here. You'll get an idea of how to do these problems here. So you are given here, you're given this triangle ABC again. ABC. But in this case, you are given the A side as 4, opposite to B, you are given as 3, opposite to this, you are given C as 6. You need to find all the angles. Basically, I need to find two angles. Third one will be 180 minus the sum of those two using the formulas. Okay, anyone has any idea? So I have taught you three things. This is not a right angle triangle. So I am definitely not using Pythagoras theorem. Either I have option to use law of sines or law of cosines. Anyone who can tell me how can I find an angle using either law of sines and law of cosines? Anyone?
You could do law of cosines.
Yes, law of cosines can work. Not law of sines, because law of sines needs two angles at least. But law of cosines, one formula has only one angle. So
can we use law of cosines and then just divide by cosine?
yes.
Whatever on the
Yes. So use any formula you want out of the three. So I'm gonna use the C one. You get A square plus B square minus 2AB cosine C. First I'm trying to find C. Since I have to find this angle, I'm gonna isolate this C and take everything else on the other side. If you wanna do before, you can plug in the values. You get 6 square is equal to, you get 4 square plus 3 square minus 2 times 4, 3 cosine C. You get 36 is equal to 16 plus 9 minus 24 cosine C. So you get 36 is equal to 25 minus 24 cosine C. Now we need to isolate cosine C. So you subtract 25 both sides. You get 11 is equal to negative 24 cosine C. I divide by negative 24. You get negative 11 over 24 is equal to cosine C. Now I need to find C. So I'm going to take cosine inverse on both sides. You get your C. Use a calculator and find the value. So you get cosine inverse negative 11 divided by 20. You get 117.3.
117.28.
Yeah, by 28 you can say, or 3, I say 3 degrees. Similarly, you can find your B and A also using other two formulas. Similarly, you can find your B and A. Let's use another formula and find your B. Can I have Joshua?
Yep.
Okay, Joshua, you're gonna help me find my B. If I have to find my B, which formula will I use?
B squared equals inverse.
A square plus what?
B squared equals C squared plus, A squared plus C squared.
Minus
2AC plus B.
AC cosine
Of B, minus 2AC plus B.
Yeah. Okay, so let's put values. What's your B?
B, we just got,
It'd be easier to use law of science, right?
Yeah, you can do law of sines also now. Since you know your 1 cosine, your C already, you can do that also, yes. But you can do this also. So your B was C squared, A was what?
A was 4.
And C was 6, right? And then you have cosine B. So you get 9 is equal to 36 minus 48 cosine B. So you get 9 is equal to minus 48 cosine B. This is B. Okay, and then you subtract 52 both sides. You get 43 is equal to negative 48 cosine B. Divide by negative 48, negative 48. You get cosine B is equal to negative 43 over negative 48. Which is this thing. How do you find B, Joshua, for this?
Make it to the inverse of it, so we close negative 2. Say it.
Yeah, it becomes 43 over 48. Can you use calculator and tell me what answer you got?
Yeah. $26.38.
38, so 26.4. Now you have your A, you found your B, you found your C angle as 117.3 degrees, you found your B as 26.4 degrees. You can find your A also using the formula. I know sum of all three angles is 180 degrees, so you do that. So you get 26.4 plus 117.3 is equal to 180 degrees. When you add, it will become is equal to 180 degrees. You subtract this thing, 0.7, get A as 117, no, 36.3. You can get a 36.3 degrees. Okay. So basically now you have three things. So far what we have done is you have Pythagoras theorem, which works only for right angle triangles. Okay. Then you have laws of sines and laws of cosines. These three things you have, to use, and basically the sum of the angles, that sum of all angles is 180. Use those four things and you need to find the values of all the other things which are missing in a triangle. Next thing we are going to is area of a triangle, which is basically we are on section 8.4. Laws of cosine was section 8.3. Area of a triangle. Okay, basically when you're given, where they're saying the area, and they're calling the area as K. They're calling the area as K of a triangle is the area of a is I did all the questions right. Is it's given as k is equal to half base times height. Okay, where b is the base and h is an altitude drawn to that base. Is the altitude drawn to that base. This is the general formula for a triangle. If I say find the area of a triangle, directly you should know it's half base into height. How high is the triangle and the half base times height. But note in this case what happens is, suppose you don't have to remember this, but I'm showing you the derivation. So if you're given this triangle here, suppose I say you have to find the area of this thing. You are given, okay, suppose this is your, I said this is your A, B, and this is your C. So this becomes your B, this becomes your A, this becomes your C. Okay, I say you have to find the area of this thing. What I draw is, I have my base B. But I need a height. So what I draw is, I draw a height from here to here. I draw a 90-degree height here. 90-degree thing here. Okay. I need to find the value of this thing. I need to find the value of this thing. Okay. I say, am I correct? Everyone, listen here. This is 90-degree. Can I write as h over a is equal to sine c? Am I writing it correct? Anyone? See, just consider this triangle. I'm considering this triangle. This triangle here. What is your sine? I'm finding sine of this angle. Since it's a 90-degree angle, it will be adjacent over hypotenuse. That's what I wrote here. So what does your h become? I multiply a both sides. I get h is equal to a sine c. That's what I get. H is equal to a sine c. Now if I plug in this formula, it becomes half b times a sine c. Either you can use this formula. So basically you're going to memorize this formula, or you can use half BC sine A. If you're using BC, angle will be opposite. If you're using AC, it will be sine B. Any of these three works. It's up to you which one to use for the formula. Now question you will get on this is, let's do a problem here. Problem you'll get is, it says find the area of the triangle for which you're given A is equal to 8, B is equal to 6, and C is equal to 30 degrees. Gerald? Daniel?
I'm here.
Okay, Daniel, so which formula are you gonna, I need to find the area, right? So I'm finding K. I'm given AB and angle C. Which formula I'm using?
Angle C. It will be K equals 1/2 B times A sine of C.
Yeah, cosine C. So basically when you plug in values, you get half A times 6 cosine 30. When you solve, you get 24 cosine 30. Use your calculator, you can find the value. Find the value and tell me what it is.
Sine or cosine?
Cosine. Oh, it's sine. I'm sorry, it's sine. You're correct, it's sine. I'm sorry. Thanks for correcting. Yes.
I got 12.
You got 12? 24
Mhm.
times, let's see. Sine. Yep, correct. Absolutely correct. You got your answer as 12. And that's your area. That's your area. Usually when you write area, you write into square units. Sides are just unit. Area, if they ask you, you have to put square units in front of area. Okay. The last thing is, in this case, you know, when you're using this formula, you need at least two sides and one angle. You need at least two sides and one angle. But suppose if it's, you are given three sides and they say find the area. You're given three sides and they say find the area. If given three sides, so basically you're given value of A, B and C. The formula for area of triangle is, it's basically K is equal to square root of S minus A, S minus B, S minus C, where S is basically what? Half A plus B plus C. So in case you are given, if you are given an angle and two sides, you can use the previous formulas for area. But in case it is not given, you have to use this formula, three sides given. You will use this formula. It is S, S minus A, S minus B, S minus C, and S is half A, B and C. Okay, let's do problem on this. So you are given here, we are not doing the derivation for this one, so you don't need to do the derivation for this one. It says find the area of triangle whose sides are 4, 5 and 7. 4, 5 and 7. So you put in the first, you need to find S. First step, since you're just given sides, first will be to find S. You add all of these divided by 2. Do it. When you'll do it, you'll get 16 over 2, which is 8. You found your S.
Can you put the original equation at the top?
You want me to show the original one?
Oh yeah, I didn't finish writing it.
Yeah. Now since I found my S, I'm going to plug in here. I get S was my 8. 8 minus first one was 4. Then 8 minus 5. Then 8 minus 7. Solve the bracket. You get 8 times 8 minus 4 is 4. 8 minus 5 is 3. 8 minus 7 is 1. Okay. And how do you do this thing is 8 4 size 4 3 size 12, 12 8 size 96. And then you can always use your calculator, or what you can do is make factors. They actually want answers in factors, so let's make factors of 96. 2 times 48, 2 times 24, 2 times 12, 2 times 6, 2 times 3. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Square root make pairs of 2. So you get 1, 2 outside, 2 times 2, 1, 2 outside, and you're left with inside 6. So 4 square root of 6 square units, since it's a area.
Wait, how'd you get the 2 times 2 root 6?
So how did you make factors of 96? I made factors of 96. Okay.
Oh, and then We factor it and we just take it out?
Yeah, we take out, so you make a pair. Since it's a square root, you make a pair. From each pair, one will come out.
Okay. And then they just remain in the. Oh, okay. Never mind. I see.
Once you are done, I want you to try this problem right now. So you are given, okay, you're given, they say find area given sides as 9, 6 and 4. You're given sides that's 9, 6 and 4. You need to find the area. Do it right now. It's the same way we did right now. And once we do this, we are done with chapter 8. We finished chapter 8 today.
Here is at a 6.
This thing is 9, 6 and 4. 9.
Are you making sure?
Carly, Alejandro, Jelena,
Yes.
you want to do this problem?
Yeah, I'll try it.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So I did s equals 9 plus 6 plus 4 divided by 2. I got 19 over 2, and I got 9.5.
9.5. Perfect. And now use the formula of K, which is
9.5 times 9.5 minus 9 times 9.5 minus 6 times 9.5 minus 4. That
and then
9.5 times 0.5
okay,
times 3.5 times 5.5.
okay. Use your calculator and you can tell me what you get when you multiply all of these. So you get square root of, inside the square root you have 9.5 times 0.5 times 3.5 times 5.5.
I got square root of
You did not
4.4.
use the final answer. You use square root. See, like I did, inside the square root only you multiply.
Yes.
So your final answer will come out to be 9.56. Are you getting it?
Yes.
Yeah. Good. So here we are done with chapter 8, everyone. This was chapter 8. And on Monday, we're going to start with chapter 9. Make sure you do chapter 8. You know, homework will be assigned right now. And you can start doing your homework for chapter number 8. Any questions with today's lecture, anyone?
No.
No.
Okay. Thanks, guys. See you on Monday. Have a nice weekend. If you have
You too, Miss
questions,
K.
Bye.
stay
Stay safe.
You
Bye,
too.
thank
Stay
you.
safe. Take care, guys. Bye.